Going to call to order the Finance Committee meeting for August the 19th, 2019. Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Finance Committee minutes of August 5th, 2019.
After reviewing the minutes, are there any corrections or addition to our minutes?
Move the approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our minutes. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 1 passed. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval of claims for all city departments July 27, 2019 through August 9, 2019.
Do we have a report from the Purchasing Committee?
Yes, Purchasing Committee did meet this evening, and I would recommend approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our claims. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 2 passed. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval to make application for the 2019 Justice Assistant Grant, as well as enter into an agreement between the City of Muskogee and the Board of Commissioners of Muskogee County for the disbursement of the funds, with the city receiving an allocation of $17,919.50 and the county receiving an allocation of $17,919.50 for a total award amount of $35,839, or take other necessary action.
Chief Teehee.
Chairman, members of the committee, this is our annual application for a JAG grant, which monies we typically use for computers. We've received it several years for the last several, and hope to get it again. If so, we'll use that money for computers.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 3 passed. Item number 4, please.
Consider approval to allow the city manager to negotiate and enter into a 5-year contract with Axon for body-worn cameras for the Muskogee Police Department in the amount of $359,422.50, or take other necessary action.
Chief Teehee.
This is the Axon body camera contract. We got the contract a little bit late, so we'll get that to the city's attorney's office this week, and the balance of that we'll pay for through our tax money.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 4 passed. Item number 5, please.
Consider approval of the lowest and best bid from Williams Contracting for the Depot Green project in the amount of $1,248,864.07. Also awarding $248,656.86 in alternates, with the alternates approved subject to funding being identified within 90 days of the notice to proceed being issued, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Mr. Chairman and committee members, this Depot Green is something that we've been working on for 2-3 years now. We had an initial conceptual plan prepared by a planning design group out of Tulsa with the help of the Depot Green committee from stakeholders from our depot area. You're aware that I think that we applied for foundation. They've awarded us for a 2-year cycle. We're in the 2nd year of that, so the funding is in place from the foundation for us to move forward. We had also applied twice for a state grant, for a state trail grant, to add additional money to that to build a restroom, which was the alternate on the bid. After visiting with the city manager, we'd like to go ahead and include the restroom. We think it's critical to the green space. It's critical to the trailhead. The trail, this project is basically an addition, an extension of the Centennial Trail from 3rd Street down to Main Street, where there will be a parking lot that will serve as a new trailhead. The restroom will serve the cyclists and the walkers that use Centennial Trail. So we would like to recommend that we move forward with both projects, that we will use our CIP money that's earmarked for trails for the entire project. Williams Contractor, of course, is local. They were low bid on the project out of 3 bidders. happy to try to answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any discussion?
I'm really glad to see us move forward and use the CIP funding to put the restroom there. This is going to be a great addition to our downtown, but I think it's essential to have the restroom there where it can be fully utilized. With it being the trailhead there, it's going to be essential. So thank you very much for your leadership on that project, as with all. Thank you.
We're looking forward to it.
Mark, do you already have a final plot of what it actually will look like? I know that sometimes when they do those drawings, it's like
Yeah,
a wish list.
Yeah, the initial drawing included things and it was tweaked and changed. But I think in your packet there was a closer version of what's a closer image of what it's going to look like.
Okay.
It'll have that big, large pavilion that will look like the architect depicts the architecture from the actual depot that's set on that site. Then the restroom will have that same type of architectural style. And then it's a large green space with the trees and the trail and sidewalks and additional parking. There's additional area for electric and water for food trucks to park there. So it'll be a nice place, nice gathering place for that part of town. Plus, it's a blighted area right now. You know, that block's been an eyesore for a long time, so it'll be a much improved green space for that area.
With that, that's a really good point, Dan, and now with us having an updated rendering, would it be possible that we could get that out on social media and on our website where we could really relay the updated, because we do, when we put it out there, we want to show all that can be available if all the funding was there.
And for example, well, there was the initial concept was to relocate the water tower, but we decided not to do that, and that's not part of the project, so.
And a lot of time has transpired between now and then, and it would be really nice to show to our community what is going to be the final rendering and what will be taking place and maybe a potential timeline for that.
We can do that.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. And we do anticipate having a groundbreaking not long after we award the contract and get a notice to proceed.
Thank you.
So at one time, I thought there was a splash pad in there, and I couldn't see it on that piece of paper.
No, there's not a splash pad in there. We took that out because the neighborhood project down there built a splash pad in their playground that's like a block away. So we decided not to do that, and plus it drove the cost up to make for the project, and the maintenance included as well. So.
Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Yes.
Mark, will this restroom have a heater just like the rest of them, like when we put it at Robinson Park
Yes.
and Honor Heights?
Yes. I believe it also includes a locking mechanism so that they'll lock themselves up at nighttime.
That'd be a great idea because, like I said, that's the only thing I hate about Robinson Park and Honor Heights, especially Robinson Park. Leaving it open like that, a lot of, how much vandalism we've had.
If this system works well, we should look into retrofitting those locks into our other restrooms.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Turn the floor back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 5 passed. Item number 6, please.
Consider approval to receive donated funds for the months of June and July 2019 for a total of $3,078.62 for the city's animal shelter sponsorship program as per the attached list, or take other necessary action.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take this one. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is our list of donations that we will put to very good use, and we do recommend approval.
I move the approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 6 passed, and with that passing, that is the final item on the Finance Committee.
I will now call to order the Public Works Committee meeting of August the 19th, 2019. Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Public Works Committee minutes of August 5th, 2019.
Everybody's had time to review. Any
Move.
questions?
Move the approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 1 passes. Item number 2.
Consider approval of an agreement with the Gospel Rescue Mission Clean Start Program for abatement services of city right-of-way or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller.
Yes, we, over the past few years, we've had a lot of discussion about how to keep our city more beautiful, how to make it cleaner, how to make it look nicer. And so the council this last year has passed the largest abatement budget that we've ever had, which I greatly appreciate. It gives us tools to make our city look better. One of the main items that we've looked for is how can we make our gateways, some of the high traffic areas in our city look better, either through our maintenance or through keeping litter picked up along some major rights of way, like along Highway 69 or on Peak Boulevard, Main Street, a lot of the major thoroughfares in town. So while we had that idea and while we had the larger abatement budget, one of our citizens emailed me and said, you know, I've read about this program in another city where they partner with another group and they give homeless individuals a chance to get some work skills and also help us achieve some of our goals of keeping our city clean. And he said, I'm going to set up a meeting with Rich and with city officials, and that's Max Boydston is here. And I want to thank him for coming up with the idea. And so we sat down, we brainstormed and said, is this something we can do? Is this something that we can try? And so I'll let Rich answer questions really about how we got here. But at the end of the day, we said we can try this for 3 months and see how it works out and see if we can work together to make our city a better place and cleaner and achieve other goals as well. So, Rich, I know you may want to add to that, and I definitely want to give credit to one of our citizens, for Max, for thinking of it and kind of putting puzzle pieces together.
Again, thank you, Max, for coming up with the concept. We experimented with this at Bacone University a couple years ago, and we learned a lot of lessons. First of all, we need our own supervisor, so that's in the plan, that we can have a supervisor there to watch and make sure everybody stays safe and does the right things. The other thing we learned is that a lot of these men and women will work their hours in order to get the money to buy boots or shoes or uniforms for their next job. So we have that opportunity to provide that for them. So we'll not only serve the men and women of the Gospel Rescue Mission, we'll also serve others in the community who just need a little bit of money in order to get by. Utility help, some of those things this will be an opportunity for them as well. The others who will also be getting job training, our overall concept is they're going to become accepted into our future social enterprise we're putting together in the future. So this will give us a training opportunity for those men and women for us to determine who the best workers are for our future projects.
I do also want to thank Matt Beasy and Roy Tucker helped make sure that we got the details worked out and get an agreement that makes sense for all parties involved to get us to this point.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other questions from the council?
Yes, Mr. Johnson may be recognized.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you because I'm always telling Mr. Miller when we drive around the city of how these main entrances, you know, how they look. Like, for example, for the Balloon Festival, Friday, I drove around down Highway 69. I just shook my head. I mean, seriously, I just shook my head. And I knew it was too late to get a hold of somebody to come and clean it up. So I called Councilman Reed, and I told him about it. So we picked up tires, metal, trash, from Border all the way to west of Muggy. Got half a truck full of stuff, fenders. Couldn't believe it. And this one, I had this little vest on, you know, what we're supposed to wear. So it was a spike where you're getting ready to turn on one of the streets. And if I guess I hadn't picked that up, somebody would run over there and had a flat. So like I say, I'm glad to see the Gospel Rescue Mission come along and help us keep our Main Street, Shawnee, all the corridors coming into Muskogee clean.
We're part of the city too. The men and women we serve, they are citizens just like everybody else.
Because it was in Ward 3, and me and Councilman Reed, we wasn't going out making our ward looking bad, and people coming in looking at Balloon Festival. We wanted it looking nice.
Absolutely.
So that's what, you know, if we got to do it ourselves. So I appreciate your help, sir. I turn the floor
back. Reelected.
Oh, no, so you don't worry about that. This is it.
Any other comments? I really do appreciate, our community looking at this. Appreciate Max having the idea, and I do appreciate everybody's work on this, from an idea to having a full concept to making a reality. And it's great when we can help out a community like the Gospel Rescue Mission, and we're not just paying, for temporary services, but we're helping people actually get back to work and into a permanent working environment. So I got a motion and a second. No other comments. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson,
Yes.
Patrick Kale,
Yes.
Marvin Coleman,
Yes.
Ivory Van,
Yes.
Derek Reed,
Yes.
Dan Hall,
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 2 passes. That will conclude all the items on the Public Works Committee agenda. I do have one person signed up to speak on the Public Works agenda. It would be Stephen Ezell, and he also, after he will have 3 minutes to address the committee, and he also requested to speak to Janie Boydston, the mayor, the vice mayor, Dan Hall, and the city manager after the meeting on the same item. Mr. Ezell, if you would come to the podium, give your name and address.
Stephen Ezell, 6121 South 6th Street East, Muskogee, Oklahoma. About a couple months ago, I brought this issue up before the council because I believed it to be a very important safety issue. And that is the condition of the fence line along the east side of South 6th Street East, with the fence line along where the old soccer field is. Now, since I first brought this to your attention about a couple months ago, there have been a number of near misses of people backing out of their driveways, but not being able to see who's coming around that curb because they're either coming around too fast or because their vision is completely obstructed because of all the brush and weeds that have grown up. And it is, quite frankly, it is an accident waiting to happen. What I am simply requesting is that people should really go out there and take a look at that because it's really, really bad. I mean, people will probably say, well, there hasn't been an accident yet. Yes, and I'd like certain steps to be taken to help minimize that possibility. Because I guarantee this, if certain steps are not taken, eventually there will be an accident. And if anything, it helps to absolve the city of any liability. Because if you take appropriate steps and then an accident does happen, then eventually it's going to fall on the head of the motorist because they weren't cautious or paying attention. I care about the well-being and safety of my fellow citizens. I would not be up here addressing this matter if I didn't. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Ezell. That will conclude our meeting, and along with those that were wishing to address the committee.
Okay, we will call the August 19, 2019 meeting of a special call meeting of the Muskogee City Council to order and ask for the roll call.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Here.
Evelyn Hibbs. Dan Hall.
Here.
Marlon Coleman.
Here.
Jamie Stout. Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Here.
Patrick Kale.
Here.
Ivory Van.
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Yes, item 1, please.
Pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge Number 95, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session.
Make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes, and the motion carries. Please excuse us as we go into executive session. We'll come back into session and ask for the roll call.
Mayor Janie Boydston,
Here.
Evelyn Hibbs, Dan Hall,
Here.
Marlon Coleman,
Here.
Jamie Stout, Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson,
Here.
Patrick Kale,
Here.
Ivory Van,
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Tucker.
Thank you, Mayor. Pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma Statutes, the City Council did convene an executive session to discuss negotiations with the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 95. After being briefed on the status of those negotiations and being informed that an agreement has been reached, I believe an appropriate motion would be to approve a 2019-2020 collective bargaining agreement between the City of Muskogee and Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 95.
So stated as moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson,
Yes.
Patrick Kale,
Yes.
Marlon Coleman,
Yes.
Ivory Van,
Yes.
Derek Reed,
Yes.
Dan Hall,
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes, and the motion carries, and with that, we will be adjourned.